Hello there.
We would be honored if you would join us.
So loyal to George, and I owe him so much. He at one time said, would you consider playing an Obi-Wan type character, handing Excalibur down to the next generation? I said, when would that be? And at the time he said around 2011.
Hey guys, with The Last Jedi hype coming to a dead stop, there's still a few promotional things going on for the Blu-ray and DVD edition in Europe. And with that, Mark Hamill has had some newer interviews as well. One of these interviews was with Le Point, or Le Point, a French magazine that published their interview with Mark Hamill. Now, it was in French, but a user named Thomas on the Jedi Temple Archives has gone to translate it for us to the best of his ability. For those who speak French, you can find the article down in the description below. I'll link it for you for all citation purposes. I'll highlight his more important questions that were translated by Thomas so we can discuss it further afterwards. Mark says, "It's not just me. The fans would have wanted Luke's fate to take another direction. I like being out of my comfort zone, but that was pretty extreme. It's hard. Fans have had such diverse reactions ranging from Star Wars 8 to being the best Star Wars film of all time to ruining my childhood. But understand that I am only the assistant cook. The director creates the recipe and I just run it as best as I can, so everyone thinks that it's the best thing you've ever had. The current trilogy is about the new generation. It always reflects an era. The movies say it. We must forget the past. Kill it if you must." Now, here's the part that piqued my interest the most. When he was asked about George Lucas, Mark said this, obviously in translation. "When I have George on the phone, we are talking about the 7th and 8th movies. But I will not betray his trust and I will keep what he tells me confidential. I'm sure it was very hard for him to let go of his creation, just as it is for me to be part of something when he is no longer our guide. But you have to roll with the punches and hope for the best. Hope for the best, but expect the worst." So I for one would go to great lengths to one day find out what Mark Hamill's vision for episode 8 was. Now this is going out on a limb here, but I'd really like to get to interview him myself for the channel exclusively. Now obviously it's a big dream to meet him, but also to find that information out for ourselves and to document it for you guys would be something that I really want. Whatever it costs, I'd really like to make that happen. As for what he said, I'm really happy that he's still in contact with George regularly. I always got the idea that they were still very close, just by the way that they interact on and off camera with each other, that we've seen on behind the scenes specials and interviews and stuff like that. I can definitely see that they fundamentally respect each other as professionals and support each other's vision. Now, what makes me wonder further is if Mark spoke to George about what's going on during filming of episode 8, or if that was a big no-no, if that was under embargo and a non-disclosure agreement to keep it, hush-hush. I know George's idea for the sequel trilogy was to have the characters of the Skywalkers to take the spotlight, with Luke still a very prominent figure in the franchise, as an old Obi-Wan Kenobi type of figure, as we've seen Mark Hamill even say back in an interview from the late 70s or early 80s it was, where he talks about George wanting him to come back 40 years later as an Obi-Wan type figure. I guess we won't know for now what George and Mark had in their minds for episode 7 and 8, but I'm sure that it was very interesting and stayed true to Luke's character. Whether you liked The Last Jedi or it didn't sit right with you at all, I respect your opinions and I can't wait to further continue to expand our love for Star Wars in whatever direction that they take us. I, for one, am still very excited for the Obi-Wan film and all the anthology films to come. So let me know what you thought Mark and George's visions of the sequels would have been like, and I will see you all in the next episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
the Force will be with you, always.
Now, fulfill